Hello and welcome to BookTube. We're gonna stop spinning now.
Don't know what to read or what book to choose, just check out the Elizziebooks and BookTube news.
Today we're going to be doling out advice. BookTube advice. Devin asks, what's your process for writing scripts and how do you put insightful things into each review? I don't really write a script per se. I know I used to just do it off the fly, off the top of my head, and then I came up with a format. And then I kind of just, went down that list of format of like what I wanted to talk about as far as summary and characters and plot and the writing style and the, originality of the content of the story. But recently I've been writing the blog review first and then taking stuff from there, just bits and pieces, and kind of expounding on those bits and pieces. Also, don't look at other people's reviews before you write your reviews, because, you have something to give to the world that is yours and that is awesome without being influenced by other people's reviews. Like, yeah, you can get more insight from other people, but it's better just to go and think by yourself as to what you believe about a book. Raven Flaws asked, how do you keep reviews short while also going into depth? Just know exactly what you want to talk about. Like, yes, it's cool if you want to like rant and ramble and things like that, as long as it pertains, or it, I guess, lends itself to your review. But if you want to keep it short and to the point, write down exactly what you want to talk about and just read, not exactly read from it, because if it feels like you're reading from something, it just feels very like stiff. At least for me, I feel like it becomes very stiff. So I would say make an outline for your reviews and say, this is what I want to talk about and this is what I want to go over, and that's it. That's all I want to talk about, and just cut it, that kind of thing. Also, learn to edit, which brings me to my next question. Sweet Bookshelf asks about video editing programs, and I use Final Cut Express 4, and it works for me. Why are you texting me? I'm gonna ignore that. But I use Final Cut Express, and that works for me. I don't really have a high opinion of Final Cut Pro X, which is totally different, and it's, I don't know, I haven't seen an updated version, the updated version of it, but I've not high feelings. You got the Adobe suites, and with that comes Adobe Premiere, which is their video editing software, and I think the After Effects and stuff like that. Just to give you a rundown, you can use Final Cut software on Apple Mac products. The Adobe goes on Windows and Mac, and Sony Vegas, that's just on Windows, but I hear that that's pretty good. There's different kinds of Sony Vegas, but it seems to be fairly inexpensive and pretty good stuff. Yes, I believe Horrible Fiction uses that, as well as some other people. I'm not sure. If you use that, what do you think? Tell me below. Tell me, what do you use? What do you use? Because I know a lot of people use iMovie. I used that for a while and it didn't. But if you pay for a program, it's worth it. She also asked how to stay on topic in videos, and that goes along the same lines as some of the previous questions, as just like make yourself a list and stick to it. And like I said, rambling is good and fine if you want to do that, and if it lends to it, cool. You can have as long as videos as you want to have. Just make sure that you stay on topic. Bunny trails can be kind of dangerous sometimes, and it just makes it seem like you have not that you have no idea what you're talking about, but it's just like there's no focus and you're just like, that was funny, but what about this book? Meliza asked, how do you come up with new topics? How does a booktuber come up with new topics? I'm gonna take this as coming up with any sort of video series or features or things like that, like whatever you want to talk about in a video, and that's up to kind of brain crack almost, and that's just like you come up with this idea and you're like, oh, that sounds great, and then you just kind of have to let it marinate and think about it over for a little bit and actually act on it. That's like, I feel like that's almost the hardest part, is like actually going, okay, I have this idea and how do I implement it, and just making it come to fruition so that your viewers can see it. It's kind of like the same thing as asking how do you come up with inspiration, and it's just like it just comes to you and it happens and you get ideas and it's cool, and just make it happen for yourself. Like, just experiment and try and do different things. Like I said, with formatting and stuff like that, formatting of your videos, change it up, do different stuff. Don't be afraid to be different, because watching the same old videos from like several different channels, it gets kind of boring. And so don't be afraid to go out there and do something cool and No edge, no edge. Also, Mr. Charlie McDonald made some awesome videos this week that pertain to his own YouTube rules, which is kind of similar to this because I'm just doing BookTube, the stuff that I adhere to, and so hopefully that is helpful and this is helpful. And if you have any advice for booktubers, leave it below. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave those below too. If you want any more advice, we could make some more of these videos.